In an era ruled by unspoken laws and inherited fear, in a village where tradition spoke louder than truth, a child was born, and with him, a storm that would echo for years. The village of Greystone lay trapped between jagged mountains and endless silence. Nothing changed there. Not the customs, not the judgments, and certainly not the minds of its people. It was there that Elena Whitmore lived, gentle, quiet, known for her patience and her soft hands. She was married to Marcus Whitmore, a rigid farmer shaped by harsh soil and harsher beliefs. For years, their home echoed with absence. No laughter, no child's cry. And with every passing season, Marcus grew colder, heavier with disappointment. He never spoke aloud. Then, on a night when thunder split the sky and rain battered the rooftops like accusation, Elena went into labor. An elderly midwife named Agnes arrived with trembling hands, boiled water, and faded prayers. Hours passed, pain blurred into silence. And then, a cry broke through the storm. A living boy, strong lungs, a stubborn will. But the room froze. The child's skin was dark, deep, unmistakably dark. Agnes stepped back as if struck. Her lips parted, but no words came. She wrapped the child and quietly slipped out of the house, fear chasing her down the path. When Marcus entered, hope flickered in his eyes, for only a moment. Then he saw the baby. His face hardened. His breath turned sharp. "What is this?" he demanded. Elena clutched the child to her chest. "He's our son. I swear it. I have never known another man." Marcus didn't listen. His voice rose. Neighbors gathered. Whispers multiplied like wildfire. Betrayal. Foreign blood. A curse. Before dawn, Marcus dragged Elena to the door. "Leave," he said coldly. "Take the shame with you." Barefoot, bleeding, clutching her newborn, Elena stepped into the rain while the village watched in silence. No one stopped it. No one spoke. That night, a woman was erased, and a story began. Elena walked until the village lights vanished behind her. Blood soaked her clothes. The child cried weakly. Every path led away from safety. At the edge of the mountains stood an abandoned stone shelter, once used by travelers long forgotten. Broken walls, a leaking roof. But it stood. There, Elena collapsed. She named her son Noah. The years that followed were not kind, but they were honest. Elena learned the language of roots and leaves, of mountain herbs and healing soil. She treated strangers quietly, traded remedies for bread, never telling her story. People spoke of a woman in the highlands who could ease pain, but no one knew her name. Noah grew surrounded by silence and wind. He was different, not only in appearance, but in spirit. He listened more than he spoke. He learned from birds, from storms, from his mother's tired wisdom. Elena taught him letters using charcoal on wood, and lessons using life itself. "You were not born a mistake," she told him. "You were born a message." She never filled his heart with hatred. She filled it with purpose. Noah grew with the rhythm of the mountain. As a child, he learned silence before speech. He could tell the hour by the angle of sunlight and predict rain by the taste of the air. Elena never taught him fear, but she taught him caution. "People will come," she said once. Not all of them honest. And she was right. The first stranger arrived on a late afternoon when the sky was turning copper. A wounded trader staggered up the path, his leg torn by a fall. He expected nothing, only rest before death. When Elena appeared from the shelter, calm and unafraid, he thought he was hallucinating. She treated his wound in silence. Noah watched from behind the door, his dark eyes studying every movement. That night, the trader slept without pain for the first time in days. Before leaving, he whispered, "They'll speak of you." Elena answered, "Let them speak kindly, or not at all." After that, the mountain remembered them. Travelers began to stop, some injured, some desperate, some simply curious about the woman and child who lived where no one else dared. Noah noticed something early. Those who arrived with arrogance left uncomfortable. Those who arrived with humility left healed. One winter morning, footsteps rushed up the slope. A man from a distant village arrived carrying his daughter, her body burning with fever. His eyes widened when he saw Noah. "Is this a curse?" he muttered under his breath. Elena didn't respond. She took the child gently. That night, the fever broke. At dawn, the father knelt, not in gratitude, but in confusion. "I judged you," he said, "and I was wrong." Noah said nothing. But that night, he asked his mother, Why do they fear what they don't understand? Elena answered softly. Because understanding requires humility, and fear does not. Not all visitors brought need. One night, 3 men climbed the mountain drunk and mocking. They laughed at the shelter, at Noah's skin, at Elena's silence. Before words could turn violent, the wind rose suddenly. A fire they lit escaped control, racing toward dry brush. Panic replaced arrogance. Noah moved without hesitation. He led them to water, showed them how to smother flames with soil. By dawn, the fire was dead, and so was their laughter. They left without apology, but they never returned. As Noah grew older, people stopped calling Elena first. They came for him. How do you know which herb works? Where did you learn this? Why do you live here? Noah answered simply, I learn by watching. I live here because peace grows easier in silence. Some came seeking knowledge. Others came seeking miracles. A few came hoping to prove him false. None succeeded. One evening, a cloaked woman appeared just before dusk. She said nothing, simply sat near the fire. She stayed until night deepened. Before leaving, she said one sentence. The village that cast you away is rotting from within. Elena watched her disappear into darkness. That night, she didn't sleep. Under the stars, Noah once asked, will we always live up here? Elena looked at the sky, a sky that had seen her suffer and survive. No, she said, but the mountain will live inside you forever. She placed her hand on his chest. Remember this place when the world tests you. Time reshaped the boy into a man. Noah grew tall, broad-shouldered, his dark skin catching the sun like polished stone. His mind was sharp, his hands steady. He discovered cures no one in the lowlands knew. Fever-breaking herbs, pain-soothing oils, life-saving knowledge. Villages whispered his name with reverence. And then, Greystone fell ill. Children burned with fever. Crops failed. Fear returned like an old enemy. Elders prayed. Healers failed. Guilt crept into conversations long avoided. Remember the woman we cast out. Wasn't she innocent? One afternoon, a stranger entered the village. A tall man, dark-skinned, carrying a leather bag filled with glass vials and dried herbs. He healed the first child, then another. By nightfall, hope breathed again. When they asked his name, he said calmly, my name is Noah. My mother is Elena. The village went silent. Noah worked without pride or anger, only purpose. When told that Marcus, the man who cast him away, was dying alone, Noah paused. He may see me, Noah said, but forgiveness belongs to my mother. That night, Marcus collapsed when he opened the door. Tears came freely. I was wrong, he whispered. I let fear blind me. Noah answered softly. Then live long enough to remember that. Elena returned to Greystone after 15 years, not as a victim, but as a survivor. She faced Marcus without rage, without triumph. Yes, she told him, he is your son, but he became who he is without you. She forgave, not to free him, but to free herself. The village changed. Children no longer whispered at difference. They learned. They remembered. A small house was built near the old well. A wooden sign was carved. Here lived a woman they called a curse, and a son who proved she was a blessing. At sunset, Elena stood beside Noah beneath the stars. What they rejected, she said, became their salvation. Noah smiled. And what they feared, he replied, taught them how to see. The doors closed, not on an ending, but on a beginning. Don't forget to subscribe, press like, and write in the comments from which country you are watching.